Hello and welcome to Castle's Corner. I am Coach Castle, and any of you who follow my channel know that I routinely go over information that is supposedly mind-blowing, but really is just common sense or taking things back to a first principle basis of thinking, basically using your brain and critical thinking. Now, much like the physics of resistance exercise, or biomechanics, something else I speak very heavily on, the study of how forces affect living material, for those of you who don't know, there is another very underutilized, not addressed, and misunderstood aspect to our health and our training, which is obvious when you think about it. Now, some of you can clearly see where I'm going with this. I am, of course, talking about your respiratory health, or the 10 to 12 pounds of breathing muscles, which you are not training correctly, nor using efficiently, and is probably considerably holding back your performance and your health. Now, just like with biomechanics and the physics of resistance training, you need to have a firm understanding of the how and why you are breathing in a particular fashion, and you should be using your breathing as a tool in everyday life. I am not referring to breathing simply in the context of meditation or breath work or even breath holding. There are a large number of factors, including direct training, which will need to be learned and applied in order for you to have optimum respiratory health and performance, as well as posture. So, in today's video, I'm going to be covering how to assess your current level of respiratory health, as well as your current style of breathing, and of course, what you'll need to do to improve it. Now, the first step to actually discovering what's wrong with you is to look at your actual breathing patterns. So, step number one is going to be, are you breathing with your nose or with your mouth? Now, this is an easy one to fix. If you are breathing with your mouth, just stop it and begin breathing with your nose. Now, of course, this will require you to be more mindful of your breathing patterns. And a helpful thing to do as well is just to duct tape your mouth shut while you're sleeping, although this does seem to be extreme to most people. However, I would recommend it if you're having trouble with this, as it forces you to breathe through your nose. Now, just after breathing through your nose for give or take 1 to 3 months of continuous breathing through your nose, your nasal cavities will widen by up to 30%, and many other very healthy changes will occur. Now, breathing with your mouth results in teeth overcrowding, as well as jaw misalignment, posture problems, and many other things I've spoken about in other videos. But suffice to say, just if you are breathing with your mouth, stop it. There is never an acceptable circumstance to breathe with your mouth. Now, let's get into step number two. Step number two will be looking at the range of movement and the location of movement of your diaphragm. Now, this, of course, will be sounding a little bit mechanical because, as most of you already know, your body is made up of pulleys and levers and hinges that are all wrapped in muscles and tendons and fascia, and this is the way that your organic body moves and functions. Now, the most important thing that your organic machine does to operate is its ventilation, or its inhaling and its exhaling. If your body's machine is not performing these operations correctly or efficiently, the rest of the machine's performance will be compromised. Let's get into the location of movement. In order to discover what sort of breather you are, you'll have to ask yourself some questions. So, the questions you're going to be asking yourself are, where on your body do you feel the most movement when you breathe? What direction is it going in? What sort of breather are you? Are you a vertical breather? Are you a horizontal breather? Or how about a hybrid breather, which is a little bit of both? Watch yourself, or have someone else look at you. If you are puffing up your chest and shoulders, and they are rising, then you will be a vertical breather. If there is no activation in your neck and upper pecs, and only the expansion between your nipples and hips, then you are a horizontal breather. Most adults are purely vertical breathers or chest breathers. Some are hybrids. Few, if any, are pure horizontal breathers without proper training. And needless to say, myself and all of my clients eventually become horizontal breathers, although this will take a period of months or years of being very mindful of your breathing and posture. Now, to talk about your range of movement for measuring your respiratory amplitude, you're going to be focusing on two numbers. The numbers are going to be the measurement when you inhale, and the measurement when you exhale. Now, all you're going to need to take these measurements are going to be some form of a cloth tape. You're just going to be wrapping it around yourself the same way you would be doing for measuring your clothes or a basic body measurement. In order to take these measurements, you're going to be finding the bottom of your front rib. It will be directly below your front nipple and the lowest one you can feel. Then wrap the measuring tape around your body at this place, keeping it parallel to the ground. Now, this is actually much easier to perform in front of a mirror than by looking down. Now, hold the tape snug so that it doesn't dip below parallel in the back, and then take the measurement of the circumference on the inhale. Do not change anything about the way that you typically breathe, just inhale normally while keeping the tape snug still. Take the measurement after you've inhaled. Then exhale completely and take note of the second measurement. This will be the measurement for when you've completed your exhale. Simply pause for 1 moment and measure. Now it's time for a little bit of math. For starters, is there a difference between the inhale and the exhale? There may not be. For some, it may be ½ an inch, and for others, it may be up to 2 or 3 inches. The next step is going to be to divide the difference in measurements by the measurement of your exhale. So if this seems like a strange division, of course use your calculator, and to have the number make sense, think of it as a percentage, meaning a times 1,000, or simply move the decimal to the right 3 spots. Remember, you do have to consider your location of movement to get your grade. Now again, as a vertical breather, you move up on the inhale, and you'll see your exhilarating muscles engaged. With the horizontal breathing, nothing will move on top of your body, only your belly and lower ribs will widen and narrow on the inhale and exhale. And again, a hybrid breather will be a bit of both. Now your overall grade will be indicative of 2 things: the range of motion and the location of the motion of your breath. Your breathing IQ grade will answer the question of, am I using my diaphragm? Now if you get a D on this chart, then not so much. You have some work to do still. If you got a B, no worries, just keep working towards that A. And if you got an A, very unlikely, but you still need to keep working on strengthening those muscles now that you have the mechanics correct. Now you'll be comparing your location of movement to your range of movement and getting an overall grade based on the graph here. Now, something to understand is that correcting your breathing muscles is a learning unlike any other kind you've experienced before. This is a hybrid activity of intellectual, kinesthetic, and psychological. Now, this is because you are unable to see your lungs or the air, and the diaphragm is so deep in the body that you can't feel it. Therefore, it is unfortunately a cross between physical therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy. Much like everything else I teach, I think it is critical that you understand the how and the why you are doing something. This will always produce the most effective and best results. It is important that you have an intellectual understanding as to why you must breathe like this, why the middle of your body should be expanding on the inhale, and you have no difficulty relaxing your abdominals and breathing with your stomach out. Kinesthetically, you understand which part of your body should inflate or widen on the inhale and narrow or deflate on the exhale. You're able to visualize the diaphragm in your mind's eye as it performs the movement of opening and closing your rib cage. You are mindful and aware of your breathing. You're able to notice your breathing in different situations and positions. And this new alertness of your breathing, or consciousness of your breathing, enables you to now use your breathing as a tool in everyday life, both to reduce anxiety as well as to make yourself more alert or engaged. You're going to begin to autocorrect during daily life, noticing more and more you are breathing in patterns in different situations during the day. Hopefully your eyes are beginning to open, and you're beginning to realize that breathing is a tool, just like anything else in your life, and it can be used to radically change your moods, circumstances, and health, and assist you in so many ways. I hope this video helps everyone. And of course, please remember, if these videos are helpful to you, give the video a like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share the video with somebody else you feel might benefit from it. And of course, guys, stay on your grind. Everyone, you need to be working as hard as you can on your own life and improving yourself. This is the best way to help others around you.